Right, podcast hour, let's get Terry going. I've had enough myself.
So, I'm doing the bloody podcast. You know, it is that people who kind of don't do anything. If you don't do anything, then you're just going to decay. And no matter how old you are.
I suppose that links in with what the podcast is all about as well. Hello everyone, episode 4 of The Head Shed.
Took us a bit of time to figure out which episode we were on there because it's been that long since we've done one.
It's definitely number 4.
Had some what of a sabbatical, a hiatus.
Just a bit, aye.
We haven't fell out.
Had a lot going on.
Aye. So I mean, we were continuing with themes on the previous episodes. I think we talked about habits, and I can't remember what the other thing was we spoke about was, but we both had a bit going on in our private lives and in general. So we thought really rather than...
We'll have a bit of a free flow session.
Aye, just...
chew the fat.
Just chew the fat, aye, see what's been going on. Like, just kind of quiz each other on what's been going on and how we've been dealing with it and what we're doing going next, because we're changing things up a bit moving forward.
Next week we've got our first guest.
We do. We haven't 100% confirmed it, but we're about 95% confirmed it.
I'll take 95. Go, mate.
So yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that a bit later on, I think, when we run out of things to talk about and we need a big bombshell to drop. We'll throw that in. Make it sound like we've got Ronaldo coming on here, but he's...
Speaking of bombshells, like, I've got my son coming, like, August 27th.
Aye.
So I've had a lot going on with that the last few weeks.
Yes.
But it's all looking good. A couple of hospital appointments and stuff like that, but everything's looking as good as it can be. And obviously over the moon about it, so I can't wait.
Yes, so Morgan's obviously had a lot going on there with that, and he's very, very grateful to me, the fact that my name's unisex, and he's got a name for a boy and a girl. So that was covered quite quickly, wasn't it? Yeah, they didn't need to have the name conversation because it's obviously going to be Sam. In light of his father's idol.
I've picked the name, like, but I think it's the worst kept secret at the minute, like. But I'll try and keep it a secret for as long as possible.
Aye. Maybe it's not for all of our millions.
I'm pleased it was a boy. I'd have been happy with a girl as well. But
millions of subscribers.
It's going good. So anyway, last week, the last time we were on, I think was you asked me a question, so it's my turn to ask you.
Yes, aye.
Kick the shed doors open.
Yeah, So if you remember last time, we said every podcast episode we're going to start and end it with a question, and that question can be absolutely anything. So I won a coin toss and asked Morgan a question. So now it's his turn to ask me. And I don't think either of us have thought about this, so God knows what it's going to be.
I've got a good one. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hell's teeth. I don't know where I see myself in 5 hours. Probably on the sea, talking to you.
What, that's it?
I don't know, mate. Like, I have these conversations with myself all the time, you know, because I'm single. Fine, love that. Live by myself. I kind of just like what I do. I don't want to change anything massively, you know. I've spent a lot of time getting my life to where I want it. The only thing I would change is just like where we live. Like, obviously, I'm big into surfing at the moment. I can't surf anywhere, and
close to the
beach. Weather's crap here all the time, and like I'm pretty level. Majority of the time now, but like it's natural. It's spring now, and you just got more energy, haven't you? I need less sleep. I'm happier. It's just not that I'm unhappy beforehand, but you see the light and everything. You just think, why?
So much easier to wake up in the morning this time of year.
Why do we tolerate like 6 months of the year just being freezing cold and pitch black? I'm thinking, so like the longer.
Right, podcast hour. Let's get Terry going. I've had enough myself.
So, I, in terms of what I do, like, I don't know, because I find the less I'm looking, it used to be my life, like looking for this, where am I going to be, waiting for this light switch to turn on and this big bang and bang, this is it. And I find the less I'm looking for that, And the more I'm happy with just the day-to-day, the happier I'm in general. So I don't really think of... I genuinely never ever look past tomorrow, really.
Right.
Or like a week.
I've had my light switch you talked about. I've had it. I got it the last few months with the parent coming, like with the child. I'll be 35 with my first son, which brings a lot of emotions along with it. It's
I don't think it's like a...
I don't know how you feel old, didn't you?
No, I think times have changed. Like, I think times have changed now. I think it's a lot more common. People, in years gone by, people would be married with kids at 20, and it's just not the done thing anymore, is it? People want to kind of... For me, it's... Obviously, I'm saying this because if I ever have kids, I'm going to be a similar age, if not older. But I don't know. Do you know? I think if you maybe feel like you're missing out on less. You've lived a lot of life, and obviously you're going to live a lot more. But
I always thought I'd already had my best years, but it's like a new lease of life. I feel like my best years are going to be ahead of us now.
Oh yeah.
In a cliche sort of way.
No, I think
it's a
lot to look forward to, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive. I look forward to it. But there's a lot of fear and that comes with it as well. Like scared and you got to do the right thing and stuff like that. Do I know what I'm doing? I've never had a kid before. Do you know what I mean?
It's worrying. You kind of got the stepdad role.
There's a hammer and a tape measure, no bother. But it's a kid. I think as a dad, you just want to be the best you can be, didn't you?
I think you'll be a very good dad. I think you'll have that.
I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
What's your overriding emotion at the moment? Like fear or excitement?
Yeah, just
or a bit of both.
Overriding emotions, just I don't know, like euphoria, just pride, just
really.
Aye, massively. Like I say, I thought I lived my best years, and then now it's like it's like a second lease at life. It's like I need to stay alive for as long as possible because I've got to bring someone up. Whereas before it was always just me, or a partner or whatever. But now it's like, it's second thinking what you're doing with yourself and diet and getting yourself fit and
keeping yourself fit. There's a word.
Makes you think. Aye.
Have you been in the gym?
I've been working extremely hard.
That's a no.
You try and carry up them ladders, mate. I haven't had the chance, to be honest. No, I've had a lot going on. I haven't been getting out to the gym as much as I'd like to. But I mean, we got out on our walk last week, and I'm still out and about. So it's definitely something I want to get back into properly. It's just finding the time at the minute, to be honest. Now I know my child's coming, there's a lot of work and a lot of saving, a lot of things to do. And I suppose that's going forward. That's probably going to be something I need to think about as well.
It's how you manage to get that in, because you know that it's a method. All the things that have come before you having a child, the issues and the struggles that you've had in the past, you probably feel them less because you're going to be happy and you're going to be really content with your life, but you still need to put the work in, you know what I mean? So I suppose that's probably what a lot of the problems a lot of people have who do struggle, because they have all the same things. Is they have kids, they have jobs, they have such a manic lifestyle. It's how you fit those things in and keep yourself a healthy balance.
I'm definitely struggling with that at the minute, like how I fit all that into like a set schedule for myself, because at the moment I'm just 100 mile an hour.
You're working loads, like
working loads, Saturdays, Sundays, SAS as I like to call them. The real man.
He's working every weekend. He's still can. That's probably why we haven't done a podcast in so long. I'm wanting my gutters done.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. You just want to save as much as possible, don't you? And you want everything ready and in place. My biggest fear always about having a kid, even in my early 20s, going to my 30s, was always I wouldn't want to bring a kid into their life if I wasn't like financially secure, or if I wasn't in a position where I knew I could give them the best childhood possible. So that's a bit of the fear. Like that's been back in my mind.
I know, but you've got your own business. You're hard working. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I think.
Hopefully you can carry a lad.
It's easier for.
Hopefully you can carry a hammer by the age of 2, 3. And
get him on the hood.
He's got to start paying his body for all.
Sorry, I must say I've been ill for about 3 weeks, and I've got a bit of a naughty cough, but it is disappearing. So hopefully I'll be able to edit out my coughs if they do come in. It's quite weird, really, isn't it? Like we're sat here, like although like we're best mates and that, we couldn't be any further apart in our stages of life, are we? So you're like talking about all these grand things of like.
I've got the stress in my hair falling out. You're getting yours put back in.
I've got.
Did I just drop that in?
So I have shaved my head since. I mean, good job we're not. If this is a video, you'd be able to see me sat here with my head shaved. Between the two of us, we wouldn't get a good head of hair at the moment. Like not even remotely close. But we'll just comb over that one.
We'll just push it to the side.
We just push that one under the carpet. We were originally going to video this. We'll do it in about 9 months' time. When I've got a lush set of curtains.
In fluent Turkish.
You just constantly hear one of those. Just me blowing my hair up my eyes. No, but it's mad, isn't it? Like how quickly things can change, isn't it? Like from
massively
a couple of months ago, they're just trying to get yourself sorted, get yourself back on your feet, and then it's like both this whole other world has opened up to you, isn't it?
I start looking at people now and I'm thinking, and if they've got 2 or 3 kids, I'm thinking to myself, hats off to you, like, bravo, because I'm that upper height about having one.
But I think the first one's always the worst like that, isn't it? I think.
Aye.
Like, I think if you only have your first and then you have your second, you're like, oh, why, he can just crack on. Like, I think that's what happened with me. Anyway,
I think it's wrong. Like,
not me, I haven't got 2 kids.
My partner's got a daughter from a previous relationship, 12-year-old, and then I treat her as my own.
Ah, you do it. I'm saying before when you were like, oh, you haven't been a dad. Like, I mean, you've had some practice, like.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's good. It's happy times ahead.
We are as far out of my realm of comfortability as we can possibly get here, mate.
So what's been happening with you in the summer?
Mate, honestly, I've actually been thinking about this because we've kind of called this podcast episode on because we've been meaning to plan it, and like it's just like it's like stupid things have happened. Like I forgot to bring my laptop home when you've been sitting waiting for us, and then you've had to go and get a tow bar put on your car, like the most bog standard normal things that you would not expect people to have to call a podcast off when you think it's semi-professional when it's not at all. But now, mate, like I was thinking about before, like how just on my drive home there, thinking, what can I talk about? Like, I've been pretty just steady away. Like, I always got something that just keeps us going, keeps us busy, and keeps us happy. And then I've got so many different things now, and this is what I say to people. So what I was trying to think is, okay, there's not really been any events going on with me, which is how I really want it, to be fair. Like, it's just steady away. And I think, well, how do I maintain that, and how have I maintained it for so long when it used to be the exact opposite of that? And I always come back to just having things that I enjoy doing. You know, like, I go to the gym every day. I mean, that's me constant all year round. I don't go to the gym every day. That's a massive lie. But, like, I endeavour to. But it doesn't really happen. But just like I've been going to the gym, and then sometimes if I can't go to the gym, like, I like to surf. If the surf's crap, then I can just go out, see my mates, or I can stop in, chill out, or I can go and play golf, go for a run. It's just, I don't know, like, I find that it doesn't take as much these days for me just to be content.
Yeah. Which
is probably a good place to be, because maybe I take things for granted less and appreciate the smaller things maybe a little bit more. I had a hectic 3 or 4 weeks. I was travelling with work. So I had like I had a couple of days in Venice, come home, went straight to Poland. Couple of busy weeks before that. Newcastle were at Wembley. Obviously, you loved that weekend, didn't you? I don't know. Like, I suppose even that, like for 2-3 weeks, I was like completely out of me routine, which normally knacks me up. But I try to take my routine with us. So when I was in, even just daft things like when you go away, or say if I'm going to be traveling more work now anyway. So instead of daft little things, like normally when you're away and you wake up in a hotel, you have a breakfast, don't you? I've been not doing that because I wouldn't do that at home. Booking a hotel near a gym. So trying to treat that week the same as I would at home. I wake up, have a coffee, go to work,
get your training done.
go to the gym when I get in, have my dinner, chill out, not drinking pints every night because I'm away from home. Just trying to keep it as real as I would when I'm at home. And I find like that being away and stuff like that, hasn't affected us mentally like whatsoever. Quite enjoyed it, to be fair. I mean, I miss the lads and I miss my friends and my family and that. For all it was a short space of time, but just steady away. And I know, like, part of us thinks, well, that sounds boring, but like,
sometimes boring is what you need, don't it?
It's easy, but it's not boring, like, because I don't know. I think maybe I used to say if you got a level of 1 to 10, like, I'd always want to be like an 8 or a 9, just like flat out doing something mint all the time, and it's just not that sustainable. Like, in terms of having those type of energy levels to do unbelievable things all the time. Maybe it is, I don't know. I don't have those kind of energy levels, and I suppose it depends what your class is unbelievable. Normally mine would be trips away getting drunk, and it's just not sustainable anymore. Not when you're my age.
I will last say I need to take some tablets or something for my energy, because I'm just tired constantly.
It's
24/7, tired.
You're working a lot though.
Burn yourself at night. You burn the candle at both ends sometimes, don't you?
Alright, I'm the same, to be fair, like, especially in the winter.
I'm pleased that clock's gone forward or backwards or whatever it was.
Like in the winter, I could just...
It's daytime in the morning, I know that. I didn't have it goes backwards off, I can't remember.
Honestly, like in the winter, like everything changes. Like, I want to sleep loads. Like, I don't even like bangers and mash. I don't even like them, and I'm like, come to winter, I'm like, what? Get us a trifle, not a trifle.
A trifle?
What do I mean?
That just reminded me of a good story, actually.
I don't mean trifle. What's like that? I don't know, like, not a soup? I don't know what I even... Don't even know what I mean.
Trifle and soup mixed up.
Don't think so. But did I mean tripe? I didn't mean tripe. Like, I definitely don't fancy tripe. Not. I don't know what I mean there. But basically, I just want hot, warm, nice food. I want to be on the settee or in the bath with a candle on. Living my best life.
Fish lately, like mussels and prawns and that.
Oh, house would be honking.
Oh, I think, love it. Yeah. The dogs get a bit now.
Oh, they'll be stinging it.
I've just given them a pack of mints. It was one day out of date. I will last not eat it.
I thought...
So we eat, lads.
I thought you meant polos.
No. It's not some mints. My dog's not now, I'm under there.
He's some tree balls. He pressed stinking. What's his trifle story?
Oh, I don't know. It's a bit.
Oh, right. Maybe he's not then. Maybe he's not.
The lad who it involves is probably sat there and he's wagging now, listening to this, thinking, "Thank fuck." Well, he hasn't told that story. He knows who he is.
Yeah, I can probably guess actually. But I suppose we've obviously we haven't been on doing the podcast as much, but we've still been doing our weekly meetings every week. Obviously, I've missed a couple of weeks when you took it over, and still doing the things that kind of started all this off, like the foundations of what we're trying to do, and helping people in our area, and kind of trying to create that community where men can talk, and we've still been full steam ahead with that. And
definitely, I still keep to the same values, although we are coming into summer now and we're outside. We're doing activities like going for walks and stuff, rather than being sat in the club.
Yeah.
Which is always nice to get outside, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think I think the more we do this and the longer we do this, like I think we can probably talk about this. Actually, I think it might be helpful for some people, but like
I genuinely think it does make a difference to the lads in the immediate area. The lads who do turn up the group.
Yeah. Well, they've said it is.
1,000,000%.
We've seen in some of the people who, they could hardly sit still and couldn't look you in the face and were so down, and now they're coming in and they're just kind of part of the community, and it's great.
And half the beauty of it is, to me, is that lads come and go, they can drop out. And when they drop out, you think to yourself, well, they're not coming anymore. But at the same time, you've got to remember what it's for.
Yeah,
help people through the bad times. So if they feel that they don't need to come, the ultimate goal is that you don't have to be there. Do you know what I mean?
And I suppose even when people don't come, we'll still drop them a message or they'll still talk on the WhatsApp group. And you're right, I think sometimes you can feel, it's getting a bit stagnant. But then you're thinking, actually,
are we doing
right? In an ideal world, you don't want anybody there.
No. You can be downhearted when sometimes there's not as many people there as you would like to be. But when you remember the lads who have been there and like the situations they've been in, and then you see them laughing and and getting on with their lives.
And kind of creating that community that's outside of me and you as well. Like it's like obviously we do the group and we set it away, but it's nice when you see everybody like we're going out with a club or we're out and they're out together without us.
It's
and
like that's
nice.
that social side with where the lads who have met only because of the group now probably class themselves as friends and socialise with each other like outside of me and you, from away from us.
I think the standout thing for me is that the themes, the kind of recurring themes that people who come in, and there's not like there hasn't been a moment in life that's caused them to hit this like ricochet and come down this hill. It's a steady decline over time, and a lot of the time it's just you have the conversation with them like, how are you feeling? Oh, I just I'm feeling crap, sick of life, every day is the same, blah blah blah, and you're saying to them, right? Is there anything you think might have set it off? Can you remember a definitive moment where something happened and they're like, no, and then you talk to them and you say, well, and we've talked about this in the podcast, so you want to be happy. Is it safe to say our end goal here was just like we all want to be happy? And it's like, obviously, yeah, right. So what do you do that makes you happy then? Well, nothing. And that's always the thing. It's like, what do you do? Oh, nothing really. I play on my PlayStation, or I just sit in the house, and it's the thing over and over and over again. It's just that people and I always use like you see it on Instagram, Facebook, and all that, and it's people just filling a bucket up. Yeah, and people are filling this bucket up, and it overfills. And that bucket filling up is just your everyday stuff that kind of causes you a bit of stress. It causes you a bit of upset. Maybe it makes you tired. Maybe it's just drains your battery. And then everything you do that makes you feel happy, anything that you do that gives you a bit of energy, that makes you feel relaxed, that makes you feel rested, all those things are just punching holes in this bucket and just letting it drain. And if people are just letting life build up and there's no outlet whatsoever, then even if it's just that bucket's just filling up tiny, tiny, tiny bit every day, sooner or later it's going to overflow and you're going to feel the way people are feeling. And I can't stress enough how...
It is frightening at the minute. I mean,
it's so bad.
I'm certainly noticing the start of this year going, even now, the male suicide it's frightening. It's only, an extended family member, a couple of weeks ago, it happened to them again. A couple of lads close to the village have been in a similar situation lately. It's and
we both dealt with it.
It's frightening. It's frightening.
I think as well as where we're going next with this is I'm doing. Well, I think I don't know you're doing it with us, but I'm doing a fundraiser to try and raise some money for the group to be able to actually provide a service, because we rely heavily on a charity called If You Care Share, who have supported a lot of our friends, a lot of people in the village who have been bereaved by suicide, a lot of people who have been suicidal. And If You Care Share are a local charity that we have strong kind of ties with. We know people there and they help us out and we refer people into them. And kind of just feel like we're putting on to them all the time. And obviously I know that's what they're there for, but a lot of the time I think if people could if we could just provide that little bit of support, so listen here, you maybe need to go and see a counsellor. If we can hook them up with a counsellor, and if they haven't got the money, we can pay for it. Maybe it's the first or the second, because in a lot of cases you might only need one or two, and it might just turn a switch on for you. You might just need to vent to somebody you don't know. So I mean that's what we're going to be doing next, looking to try and provide a service so we can actually be helping people behind the scenes, because a lot of people don't want to come to the meetings, and unfortunately I might cop some hate for this. I mean we kind of just wait for the NHS to do it. I've had a couple of people who've kind of been suicidal.
Yeah, ran the crisis time. When was it? Just last week with it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with no names and stuff, but yeah,
I've had somebody who said
yourself there.
They were kind of at risk of taking their own life, and they never even got a call back. Never got seen. Within 5 hours, no one's seen them. And this is obviously it's not the people on the NHS, it's the government really, and it's underfunded and it's behind, and it's just not great for people who are struggling with the mental health, you kind of. I've had people say they've been waiting over a year for a diagnosis, and if you're struggling, it's too long to wait. And if there's something we can do, and I think there is, then we're going to try and do that as well. So, yeah, I'm doing the Yorkshire Three Peaks.
Yeah.
I'm doing it in the right order on the Saturday, and then I'm doing it in reverse on the Sunday.
And then we've got the Great North Run as well.
And then I'm doing the Great North Run in September for If You Care Share.
Yep.
So what's that leads on?
We'll be putting the fundraiser out for that.
Yeah, we'll be putting the fundraiser out for everything. So if you listen to this and you want to sponsor us, please do. I'll actually put the link to the GoFundMe. So I'm going to do the funding for the Three Peaks, which will be for the head shed, so we can look at trying to provide some kind of service for people who need the support or counselling or any type of therapy that people might need. We're going to try and help them with that. And then after that, so that's end of May. So from June to September, we're going to be fundraising for the Great North Run, and there's quite a few of us in the village, doing that. So if you, again, I've never done any fundraising before. I've never done anything that never really.
Great North Run's going to be a good one. Like, going to try and raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
In the name of a good friend. So hopefully everyone's fit enough.
Yeah, we set a group up 2 months ago to run, and we haven't been out yet. I mean, yeah, it's pretty. Actually, I've been out, but you haven't, have you?
I'm maintaining weight. I wouldn't say I'm losing it or gaining it at the minute.
I'm trying to lose a bit of. When I was in Poland, they feed you so much food.
That's what's their fault.
Oh my God! Like literally, like 9 o'clock in the morning. Here's cake. I'm like, I don't want any cake, and they just won't get out your face until you eat the cake. And I'm like, all right, I'll eat the cake. And then it's all like meaty foods as well because it was pretty cold. Really good food, to be fair. Tell you, have you had them schnitzels?
I've had a schnitzel.
Oh, schnitzel! They brought it out schnitzel, mashed tatty, a bit of sauerkraut, and I'm like, this looks dry.
I like the biscuits in Holland. So it's like two wafers, and they put is it honey or something they put inside it, or it's like a treacle.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. They make them warm on the stands when you walk around Amsterdam. Right. Lush.
Amsterdam. What about Poland?
No, I'm not about that. I just said I'm over in Holland and that. I was a.
That's the other about generic
We used to go to a place
European
called what was it called? Eppen in Holland. We used to go over when I was a kid. There used to be like a proper market, like a town market, and they used to make them. I'll have to get you one. Like, they're unbelievable.
Right.
Gorgeous.
I have no idea what you're talking about, like, but
you need to try it.
I will try it. So actually, what we kind of look, bloody hell, been talking for 27 minutes.
Right.
Talking shite for 27 minutes. What we kind of allude to actually next, as we're talking about If You Care Share, obviously we are kind of getting to that limit of how much shite me and Dean can talk, just us two. And we're in the feedback regarding the podcast has been good all around, really. You know, people have been asking why we haven't been doing them, and I mean that was just me mum, like, but people have been asking where they're at and what we're doing.
Why are you doing their bloody podcast?
I've been a pain again and do my homework. So yeah, we're gonna start having guests, and we've branched out and we've reached out to people, and we want the first guest to be poignant, very, very poignant.
Meaningful.
Meaningful. We wanted to kind of be our flag in the ground, and some wants it to be somebody who is very aligned with what we're trying to do, and far, far, far surpassed what we're doing, and is well miles and million miles ahead of what we're doing, and it's going to be an amazing conversation to talk to them, and that's it's Matthew, who is the founder of If You Care Share Foundation. So we've got him on in a couple of weeks, and we're going to talk about his story, how it come to him set the foundation up, the work they do every day, and just have a real in-depth conversation, because they're a real inspiration to us and a massive support to us as well. So really looking forward to that. We'll have to.
We've got a good. Should be a really good one.
Yeah, we're gonna
good one to kick off with guests.
definitely. I mean,
Brilliant.
when you look at the people they help and the people they support, you know, when we look at what we're trying to do here, you know, that they've kind of just the blueprint there for us to kind of follow, isn't it? And
Definitely.
maybe if we can fill in some gaps that maybe they struggle with, and vice versa. But they're an incredible charity, and I'm constantly in awe of the work that they do, and I've seen it firsthand. You know, we've seen some really, really close people struggle big time from suicidal thoughts, and also being bereaved from suicide.
Absolutely, they've helped a lot of people close to our heart, and we've
Yeah.
seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
The effect of what the charity actually does on people, and it's like you see, I can't speak highly enough of them.
No, you can't. So yeah, I mean that'll probably be our next podcast episode. We will be trying to get back to trying to do them every couple of weeks. Like we say, I've been away, Dean's been away, Dean's family's growing, so is his kite. Are you pregnant or your lass?
Knew I shouldn't have worn black.
It's supposed to be slim and black. So yeah, it's just been a busy busy time for us both, hasn't it? So I've missed it, to be fair.
Nice one, mate.
It's I've missed just sitting here having the crack. I mean, we're definitely getting more relaxed with it. We're definitely more tense than we are now. I'm strung out horizontal in a pair of Ralph Lauren slippers here. I feel like Hugh Hefner. Well, no, I think we just wanted to recap there. We've hit half an hour. We've told us what we're doing next.
You need to ask me a question, do you?
Yeah. Right.
You don't have to.
No, I do have to, because it's routine, because we're going to have to start off with Matthew next week and ask him a question. I had one for you, mate. Right, let's have a think.
Think too hard. Jesus.
You see sparks coming out with lugs. It's like one of those when you only stood at the jukebox and everyone's looking at you waiting for you to put a tune on and your head goes blank. It's just like you end up putting Kylie Minogue on or something. Right. I think you asked me. You may have asked me. No, did you ask me this question? I don't think you did. Like, what's a motto you live by every day? What do you always go back to in your head and you think, aye, that's it? Do you have one?
I have a motto. It's if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Right.
And I put that across everything. Like, if you don't get up in the morning, when you get older, your legs will stop working. If you don't use your arms at work, your arms will stop working when you get older. If you don't use your head and start thinking for yourself, sometimes you're probably going dumb. So I'd probably say that's my motto. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
I think that's practical.
Yeah, that's
Certainly practical.
I always thought that one.
No, it is. When you look at
You
it.
just see too many people. I mean, God forbid it never happens to me, but I don't know. I'd hate to think I got that far in life when I got to that certain age where you just give up. Do you know what I mean? And that's. I mean, I don't know what's going on in their heads at the time. It always scared me when I was a kid seeing older people that just weren't bothered anymore.
I think,
and I just think myself. I always promised myself that I would always try and do something every day.
I think that's why I like to keep active. Because, you know, I've got mates who are 50-odd-year-old who I got in the gym with, and they're going to retire soon. Their body and their minds are going to stop them doing nothing. You know, they're retired, they're going to live a life as a 30-year-old. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's exactly what you're saying there, because they've never stopped going to the gym, they've never stopped lifting weights, they've never stopped training, never stopped doing what they do. And I think you're right.
It's too easy to be idle, but but you won't get any benefits from it when you get older.
The types of people that you see when you see them kind of slow down and give up, it's just like, kind of sound kind of brutal here, like, but it's like, you know, it is that's people who kind of don't do anything. If you don't do anything, then you're just going to decay, and no matter how old you are.
I suppose that links in with what the podcast is all about as well. It's too easy to just stop and do nothing when that's the exact thing you shouldn't be doing.
No, And again, I mean, that's what I have had that conversation this week with somebody.
Yeah.
I actually always refer back to what you said it in a podcast. Like, you do get out of your well-being what you put into it.
Definitely.
You know, and if you're not feeling great, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're not going to change, are you? You're not going to feel any better.
If you don't put the graft in with yourself, it'll always creep up.
I think I mean, it's not simple. It's not simple because there's some people who struggle far worse physically, not just mentally, physically, and that can lead to mental problems. But you know, in a lot of cases, and a lot of the people that we see, they've just stopped everything, and it's just getting going again. Once you get going again, once you start seeing people again, once you start just getting out and walking around again, and just kind of getting yourself back into society and just living again, you know, a lot of the cases it's just like bad diet, bad sleep, no activity whatsoever, nothing stimulating your body or your mind, no outlets, and then you get to the point where you feel like you can't cope anymore. Now it's not a big light bulb moment. It's not like take these tablets. You know what I mean? And that's always the thing when people say, "Oh, I'll be at the doctor's and they give us tablets." And I'm thinking, well, are you exercising? No. Are you out getting out for a walk at all? No. What are you doing? Nothing. What are the tablets going to do? The
tablets are only 10% of it.
They'll help. I mean, I take them, and I'm not saying don't take tablets. I'm saying you might need them, but do other things first. Like at least try living a bit. Try getting out. Try being outside, being by the sea, going for a walk, go on the lakes, go to the mountain, go to Scotland, go and walk in the woods, and you'll feel better. Stop eating takeaways. You know, stop eating processed food. Eat whole foods. Set a bedtime routine. Don't stop up at 4 o'clock in the morning, get up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then do the same again. Set routines. Go to bed at a similar time, wake up at a similar time. Eat healthy, get out for a few walks, and then reassess in a month, and I guarantee you'll feel better.
No, 100%. I've never gone for a walk and felt worse when I've gone.
No? You don't?
I always feel better.
You don't? And I just think it's that first step, isn't it? And it's what we always say, motivation doesn't come first. Motivation comes from having done something, feeling good, and wanting to do it again. So if we sit around and wait for that motivation to come, it's not going to come. So I think in a bombshell, and what I've seen recently, and longer term, the more and the longer we do this, that seems to be a standout thing. Just get moving. Do the basics. Do the easy things first.
Get up and get at it.
Get up, get at it. Yeah. Stop eating kebabs every night. Stop drinking. Start exercising. And it's like, I know I bang on about exercise all the time. Now I'm not like, I don't train 7 days a week. I don't never drink, because I do drink. I always gone out on Saturday, quite often on Sunday. And I do eat a bit shit. I eat a lot of shit on a weekend. But, you know, I try and keep the job right through the week. I try and be healthy. I try and train or do something. I'm always active, basically. And like, if you were to say to people, like if I could give you a tablet now that would feed you endorphins with no downside to it, that would give you more energy, that would help you sleep, that would help your appetite, that would make you last longer, live longer, would you take it? You'd want to like just UV drip fed into you to exercise, and yet you're trying to get people to do it. Sometimes it's almost impossible.
It's that first, like you say, it's that first push, isn't it, for some people. It is,
and then we're trying to help with that as well.
It's within everyone's reach, isn't it?
It is, and I'm not talking getting out and sprinting. Just get out and have a walk. Eat some veg. I know it's quite hard at the moment. Can't get any veg, can you? I'm forever going around my mother's and nicking peppers out of the fridge. Shouldn't have told her that. But so that's us, and the next episode will probably just hopefully, or will have a little bit more substance and be the start of our
next episode. It's going to be obviously, like you say, a lot more substance, and first guest.
Yeah.
We'll keep it rolling that way.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
All right, yep.
Been the head shed, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers now, ta-ra.